defense rests, let's lay it down. Gonna dig deep, wave that verdict round. The defense rests, time to analyze. With the evidence, we'll unveil the crime. Justice served in an honest fight, true crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule at the defense rests.
All right, hello again. Welcome back. Sound like welcome back, Connor. Then, did you have a nice little nice porting over here? Getting your little TARDIS and travel across. Welcome. If this is your first time here, suffer. If it's not, suffer. Welcome to the Defence Rest. This is where we challenge the facts and you get to decide where justice lies. Now, at the moment, they are underway with jury selection in the Marshella Chidester case. Now, Marshella is on trial for the unaliving of two children, an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, brother and sister. Now, she's alleged to have been under the influence and smashed into a birthday party where the children were, injured over 10 people, and including the only other remaining child. So there was 3 children. I've got the names in the description. I think it's Zayn and of course it's not written in this one. It would be in my one. Where is it? All right, so Alanah Phillips and Zayn Phillips. Alanah was 8 and Zayn was 4. And yeah, injured over 10 other people as well. And there was a 3rd child of the Phillips family, and he suffered fractures as well, I believe. And the mother was injured as well. So nearly annihilated the whole family. Her charges are 2 counts of second-degree unaliving, 2 counts of driving under the influence causing death, 4 counts of driving under the influence causing injury. She's pleading not guilty, and she's claiming that due to her epilepsy, she was having muscle spasms in her legs, which caused her to press the gas instead of the brake, apparently. So they're, as I said, under jury selection at the moment. That's due to start the trial at 1. So I thought we would kill this hour just doing a bit of an overview, because I don't know a great deal about this case. This was my plan B for the day, the trial that I had set. I found out at the last minute wasn't being live streamed. Yay! All right. So now it says that she was let out on $1.5 million bond, but in all of the photos I've seen, she's been in the orange or the stripes, so I'm not quite sure. So this is out of Monroe County in Michigan. The judge is Daniel S. White. All right, so this is an in-depth review and open discussion of the investigation and evidence in the case against Marshella. Okay, let's do it, shall we? Oh, welcome back. Yeah, she's contesting the BAC level as apparently as an incorrect reading, an incorrect blood, because it was a blood sample that she had done, and I don't know why, but apparently over there you guys have to have an additive added to the blood sample to activate it to get the correct BAC. But once you put it into the vial, you have to shake it, and apparently the police officer did not shake it. So she's claiming that it's an inaccurate read. But I heard on the grapevine that apparently she partakes in a little bit of the beverages on a regular occasion. So that's why I was saying to you earlier, Udahef, with her, if she's a regular seasoned drinker, she would probably be running dehydrated, and she could have possibly had muscle spasms because she's claiming epilepsy. But yeah, so it'll be interesting when we actually get to that part and I get to see what the blood analysis is as far as her electrolytes and stuff go, because that could play a part in it as well. Maybe she was given a bond, but couldn't. Yeah, possibly. Well, it was 1.5, so I know. But don't you have to get, like, you get a bondsman and then they put up 10%? Oh, welcome back. You changed. You've got a split personality, Elizabeth. All right. Let's get into it then, shall we?
Good Saturday afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon.
We are late, but we are here talking about the Marshella Chidester case here in Michigan. I hope you guys will join us today. We're going through the case, or as we work our way through the case that we've been covering quite heavily. I want to go ahead and take a look at what is happening.
This isn't being streamed by any of the big channels. It's not on Law and Crime. It's not on Court TV. That's why it's a bit different.
And so far, pretty much everyone is familiar with the birthday party crash where Miss Chidester killed 2 small children, injured about 15 other victims or party attendees, and is now going through the prosecutorial process to deal with this issue. So what we are trying to do at this point is take a look at the case and see if we can gain some insight into maybe the direction of the prosecution, the direction of the defense for Ms. Chidester, and and increase our understanding and knowledge of the legal system and the process. So I want this to be an open discussion. I will be dropping the link in the description or in the comments for you guys to join me on screen if you would like to. You must have your cameras on, but
you can't.
I do want.
This isn't a live anymore. It's a video, so you can't do that. You don't join because you won't go anywhere. But that's a good idea.
Want to make this an open forum where we can talk about the case and talk about the evidence that we're looking at and understand some deeper insights again about the legal system. In particular, here in Michigan, where this case is, and some things will apply, in other states, but of course we know every state has its own laws and regulations and all of those types of things. So I thank you. I appreciate you joining us this morning. We're going to start taking a look at what the crime scene itself, the evidence that the prosecutors have, and the evidence what it is that the defense has, or possible strategies that they have in order to try to defend Mrs. Chidester. At this point, I don't see where it's possible that the defense attorney could keep her out of jail for a double homicide. However, I think that the goal here is maybe to get her charges reduced.
Is Michigan a death penalty state? Just out of curiosity. Anyone?
She is an elderly lady, 66 years old, and we're going to talk about that some more in terms of her whatever possible prison sentence she may get. And all of that. So I want to give a few more minutes for some more folks to join us. And we will be right back. It is said that her car went 25 feet into the pavilion of the facility or the venue, which is precisely where a child's birthday party was being held. And in the process killed 2 small children who coincidentally were brother and sister, and injured 15 others. And I want to send our not only condolences to the family, but also emphasize the point that the 2 children, again, who were brother and sisters, that family was absolutely devastated by this incident. Mm-hmm. Not that others were not seriously injured, but this family in particular, this family was particularly harmed or devastated by this offense. Not only were the 2 children killed, the mother suffered a myriad of injuries. She was in a coma for 3 or 4 days. Her only surviving child still cannot walk. He had a fractured skull, other broken bones. It's just really tragic. Drunk driving is no good, folks. If you are going to drink, in this day and age, it is 2024, you have all kinds of rideshare, Lyft, Uber, whatever you need to do. In Mrs. Chidester's case, she lived literally almost right next door to the boat club. If that's where she wanted to go, she could have walked over there. In her, again, presumed, drunken state, and saved herself a whole lot of trouble, and of course those families as well. So that is the backstory. So now we have gotten through the arrest. She was given a $1.5 million bond. Actually, surprisingly, the prosecution asked for a bond for Mrs. Chidester, not her defense attorney. It was the prosecutor in the district court arraignment that actually asked for the bond. He asked for a high bond, but he is the one that suggested it. The defense was trying to get her $100,000 bond at the time. However, she did get the $1.5 million bond and was released with conditions. And was released with.
We've got the sentencing of what's his name? Jermaine Bass. I might have to cover that later. That's running now.
A GPS tether and some other things. She can't drive. She can't have any weapons. She can't buy any weapons. She has to surrender her passport. She has to attend all of her hearings. All of
two was it second degrees? Let me see. Yeah, 2 counts of second degree, and allowing 2 counts of DUI causing death. So she's up for life anyway, surely. But Plea is not guilty. Yeah. I can't find the Google search results that had your YouTube stream on. Yeah, no, I've made it private because it's not until the 18th. So you won't see it. Yes. Yeah. That's all right. You were later. You were out of order, so to speak. That's
these things,
absolutely fine.
submit to drug testing.
But I'll give you the heads up. Steve believes that it's the wrong verdict. He believes that they didn't prove their case beyond reasonable doubt. There you go.
And there is another monitor. I think she's wearing 2 monitors, to my understanding. One is the GPS tether because she's supposed to be in home confinement. The other one is some type of monitor where they are able to determine if she is drinking at all, because part of the order is that she has to abstain from alcohol. And
I just realized, was that no an answer to my is Michigan a death penalty state question? I missed it. Oh, you know what? Someone should write a song about that. Oh, no, it's the wrong one. It's Heaven's Door, isn't it? Dang it. Cool, thank you.
Any other, of course, illicit drugs. So, and then, have formal, probably random testing whenever they decide to, to test her or drop her, as they say, in the criminal justice system. So all of that so we've gotten through that phase. And of course, she was bound over for trial. That means she goes to the court, the next level court system, which is the circuit court. Now, this is all of these things in terms of the different types of courts or how the court system is set up. These are all in reference to how it is set up here in Michigan. Again, every state has their own process, procedures, court systems, and all of that. Who is here? Coach Karen says she stated she was invited to the party. Was that ever confirmed? Actually, she had given several different accounts to the police officers. When she initially, if you've seen all of the videos, they're out there, they're everywhere. This is probably one of the most filmed crimes that I've ever seen. I mean, there's footage from all kinds of angles and all of that stuff. So even prior to the crash, there's video of her even leaving her house and all of that stuff. But anyway, if you've seen the videos, she did give several different accounts of whether or not she was attending the birthday party or not. The initial officer, I believe, was Sergeant Michael Bomia, who was the first on the scene. He asked her, "Were you coming for the birthday party? Why are you here? Why did you come to the boat club?" She said, "Oh no, I wasn't coming for the party." And she said something else, but it's kind of intelligible. You can't really understand what she's saying on that body camera, what was captured on his body cam. Then by the time she actually had the interview with the deputy who was not in court for the original probable cause hearing, I believe it was, she told him that she was there to attend the party. And that at this point has never been cleared up. So we still don't really know. No, it was not confirmed if she was actually coming to the party. She was actually a member of that boat club and had been something what they call a Commodore. I don't know what that means, but she was, I guess, very much involved in with the boat club and was a longtime member there. It's an alcohol monitor and a GPS monitor. Yeah, I know that it's some type of, but there's a name that they called the alcohol monitor, and I can't recall it at this particular moment. She said, right, Coach Karen says, right, I was just trying to decipher if she thought that was her reasoning for leaving her home to go there. I might in the original arraignment.
This is fairly long. So I've got a few of they've cut up some of the testimony and some body cam stuff. So let's have a look at this one. Oh, Jesus Christ. She's gone right through and into, fuck. Holy crap.
I don't even know. She's 18.
Jesus.
Is there anybody
Freaking hell.
I got this series of information.
She's claiming that she had spasms in her legs, whether it's from epilepsy or dehydration, and that her foot hit the gas instead of the brake, allegedly. Just in case. Oh, wow. They haven't redacted any of this, sorry. Graphic content. Sorry. I've just put the link to Ty's YouTube channel in the chat because apparently he's doing a live sometime tonight. Yes.
Just try to stay out of the way from everybody and help where you can.
I'm all critical. I've attended all three of them.
She's allergic to amoxicillin. You're welcome. Are you really?
I'm right behind you.
She must have been hiking to do that much damage and go right through and into the drywall of an interior wall as well.
We start doing this. I think they want to leave her right for right now just because
I don't know if it's attached anywhere. Here we go.
it should. Let me put that's not heavy enough. Okay. All right. Ma'am, I'm gonna get were you in here when it happened? No, did you witness it at all? Okay.
Her name's Diane.
Medina? No. Is it hurt pretty much everywhere right now? Right lower back down. Okay. Just try to take some deep breaths, okay? As deep breaths as you can. Yep. As deep breaths as you can. Well, they're hitting this guy, and then you're coming up next.
Try not to move your hips, babe. Okay?
Yeah, apparently there was over 10 people injured and the 2 children that were killed.
Okay. They got to get her on them. These they were right in front, so we'll keep her right there. You guys need help back there? Okay. Sir, anybody got your information yet?
No.
Will you witness it? Okay.
I was in the bar. I just heard it and came in to try to help out. So, but I didn't see when it actually happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the next one. That's not it. That's my playlist. There it is. Home video. Oh. This must be her home, I'm assuming. Oh, gosh, she's walking funny. The skinny little legs she's got. Like chook legs. Yes, apparently she was a seasoned partaker. Allegedly. She's got Trump flag out the front. Not going to help you now, love. You shit out of luck.
In what view is this, deputy or detective? Sorry.
So this is the camera across the street on the bar.
Why have they got all this footage and testimony now? Was that in a pre-trial thing? Because the trial starts today. Oh, okay, so this is from across the road. So you'll be able to see her walking up to her vehicle, I assume. So that's her house up here at the top. Actually, you can't see that very well. Hang on. Let me move that. There we go. That's better. I'll make that. Okay. So we're looking up here. You should be able to see her walking down. This is from a different angle. Maybe that'll show you. There she is. She's coming down the stairs now. There goes a dog. Wonder how she reverses out. All right, so this is at nearly 2 p.m. in the afternoon. There she is. She's here. I think. Is she? No? Oh, here she is now. Sorry. There she is there. I didn't buy any more popcorn. Okay. I lied. I did. Hmm. Wait for it. Oh. Oh. Holy crap. Oh. 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 And that's on her way. I'm sorry, that's no spasm. I don't care what you say. That's fucked. That's disgusting. Mm-hmm.
Property proposing to divide at this point, Judge.
Okay. Going around here?
No, not really. I pulled into the parking lot and I thought I was driving up to the boat club and evidently I was driving right to the pavilion.
Which direction did you drive from?
I live right down.
Now she's wearing different clothing. This must be when she was arrested.
Okay. So
Not the day of the.
This way. When you got to the parking lot, what happened?
I don't remember.
No,
You don't remember?
I don't know.
Okay.
doesn't look like it.
Is there a reason you don't remember? Did something happen or?
You know what? I have these seizures and
Well, you shouldn't have a license. You should be driving.
It says like maybe that, did your doctor permit you to drive and everything?
I'm cleared to drive now and
No, you're not.
But I do have a card in my purse.
Like, when's the last time you had a seizure that you know of?
Didn't she have black pants on in the last?
Okay. So in March is the last time you remember that you had a seizure. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this. Were you hospitalized for it?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
Okay. Was that did you have like at home or something?
No, I was in Monroe for 4 days and Toledo for 6 days.
I'm sorry, did you have a seizure while you were at home? Or did you have it?
I had it at home, and then I did have one when I was in the hospital.
All right, this must be after she's been released from the hospital then.
And March is going to be the last time you had that seizure.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think is your normal behavior when you have a seizure? Is it have lapses of memory?
Yes.
Like that? Okay. So once you got to the parking lot, you don't remember anything.
I don't.
Okay. Okay. I guess all the questions I have for you now. Deputy Speck's gonna take you over from here. Okay.
I hope you read her Miranda.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being like you're stone cold sober, you can drive perfectly. 10 being you're passed out drunk. Where do you think you're at right now?
7.
A 7. Okay. Do you think you're okay to drive?
I wouldn't want to drive.
You wouldn't let you drive?
No.
Okay. Okay. Just give me 1 second, okay? Sorry, my phone's ringing. I think it's my phone. I apologize.
I don't understand. What does it say in here? Body cam footage of interview conducted by the sheriff. Yeah, this is July the 5th. Denied memory of anything after entering the parking lot. She attributes her memory loss to seizures. States seizure occurred at home and then hospitalized 4 days in Monroe, 6 days in Toledo. The second episode in the hospital, unspecified. Reports possession of a medical clearance. When asked to rate her level of intoxication from 0 to 10, she rated herself at level 7. But this must have been after the... I could have sworn she had... I've got to go back and check that. I could have sworn she had black pants on. Where is it? There. No. Previous one. Sorry. Remember which one it was. We just bloody watched it. Ah, okay. Yeah, she's got a black top on. Boots. Okay, it does look like blue jeans. Blue jeans, black jacket.
Property proposing to the 5 at this point, Judge.
Okay.
Okay, blue jeans, black jacket. All right,
Going around here.
I'm satisfied.
No, not really. I pulled into the parking lot.
Next. I haven't got many playlists on here. Hardly any at all. Right, we've seen those. Let's look at that one. Impact angle. Oh! I'll have to go back on that. Holy crap. Watch that coming. She's in up here. Now that says 3:01. What did I say the time was earlier? Wasn't it only like... Oh, God. Oh. Oh. Fuck. my banner up just in case. Oh, it's still up. Oh, is that? I hope that's not the father looking for his kids. Fuck. No one's even bothered to try and get her out of the car. Oh. Why is that person just standing there in the way? Fucking move or help. What are you doing? Or is that her? No. You're going to get hit in the head with that bloody iron. Move, mate. Ah! Get out the way! Oh. Oh.
Is this the breezeway you were referring to?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, there was someone in there. Shit. Oh. Graphic content, graphic content. I have not seen this. I didn't see anyone in that corridor. Oh. So there's two people there. Hello, mister. Hello. Hello.
The record reflect the people are playing exhibit 1.
Captured by neighbor. Oh. Oh.
Everybody,
Oh. Oh. Right.
Did you find any videos from around the time of the crash at the Swan Boat Club?
We did.
And were you able to extract those from the DVR?
Yes.
Did you make copies of those portions of the recorded video?
Yes,
Did you place those into evidence?
we did.
You had an opportunity to review those recordings prior to court today?
Yes.
And the recordings that have been placed on people's proposed exhibit 8, are those the same as the ones you extracted from that digital video recorder?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, people would move to admit people's 8 surveillance videos from the defendant's home.
Your Honor, we would serve at this time, just be here to see the video, hear it, and then make a decision.
All right. Detective, you mentioned 4 cameras at the home. You've had an opportunity to review this exhibit, is that right?
Yes.
And what camera angles are we going to see on this video?
So specifically, you're going to see the one facing the main entry door of the residence, and then also the one on the barn, which is across the street, which gets the street and basically the driveway and a little bit of the home also.
Okay. And from around what time and what date are these recordings?
April 20th, 4/20, and so the timestamp on the video is going to be approximately right around 2 o'clock, like 1:57 to 2 o'clock. But in real time, that would have been 2:57 or 3 o'clock.
And
Okay.
Detective, your role in this investigation, you know what time the crash at the Swan Boat Club was?
301.
Right at 3 o'clock.
Well, I'm sorry, but I hope they throw the book at her. That's disgusting. There is no way that's a bloody spasm. And if she was suffering from epileptic seizures, she should have had her license taken off her. That's appalling. Sorry. Oh. I haven't even started the trial yet. My bad. All right. Let me see what else. I think these are just going to be the same ones. Actually, we watched that one of her reversing out the driveway. Again, it's fucking. If she was having a seizure, there's no way she would have been able to change gears and go forward. He should be charged with leaving the scene of an accident as well. Right. My headphones keep slipping off my ears. I washed my hair, it's all slippery. Actually, I might play this in slow-mo. Let's play it at half speed. What? I want to plant it. Her wheels are still spinning, so she's still got her foot on the gas. Then she changes it to drive and comes forward. She couldn't do that if she was having a seizure. Sorry. Nice try, but no fucking cigar, lady. Wow. Just fucking wow. That is wicked that they got this, though. Wicked.
Check it out. What did you do specifically?
I walked over there and I noticed it was a pretty bad scene, so I got out my cell phone and I recorded it to get evidence or whatever.
Could have rendered aid.
I know it's important to have those first.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what I was getting into.
So you live directly next door, so you walk down the road that's the parking lot.
Gee, I would not think to get my phone out. No way. That would not be that would be the last thing on my mind. The last.
That's my lawn.
Okay. And you entered how did you enter into the boat club?
I walked through the hole that Marshella drove through.
And you recorded this on your cell phone, you said?
I did. I started recording before I went through the hole because I wasn't sure what I was going to see. I didn't know at the time it was Marshella, my neighbor. I thought there were some other kids that drove a car similar to it. I thought maybe it was them. And
Oh, different view, is it? Ah,
The record reflect the people are playing exhibit 1.
look at the speed she's going. Wonder what they clocked her at. I'm just saying that bit.
Of a crash where there is no airbag deployment, but it was enough motion within the vehicle to wake up the EDR. It could capture that information, but at times the information will be overwritten.
And explain what a triggering event is.
So that can incorporate many factors. If a vehicle is in motion and, for instance, a deer would jump out in front of the roadway and an operator would veer their vehicle to the left or to the right, the event data recorder, usually it's always sleeping. That will
Why
wake up
didn't
the data recorder.
Why didn't her airbags go off when she reversed into that vehicle? Or did they? And she still continued to drive. And it doesn't look like that's a really, really old car.
The data recorder is basically saying to itself, something's happening here, we need to start to record. It will start to record for a little bit. However, if the vehicle continues in motion and there's no impact, the EDR will go back to sleep, basically. But when there's airbag deployment, the EDR will lock in all the information that the vehicle was doing at the time of impact.
So they were deployed.
And what kind of information does it lock in?
Braking speed, acceleration, steering, percentage of throttle, if lights were activated, seatbelt activation.
For what?
Your microphone got centered.
This guy? Sorry, thank you. And for what period of time does it record these statuses of the vehicle?
Every vehicle is different. I've seen some recordings or images where it could be 10 seconds pre-impact and 5 seconds post, or 5 seconds pre and 5 seconds post. So every vehicle is different.
Foundation here, Lieutenant. Did you have an opportunity to review this case in its entirety?
I have.
And are you familiar with the real world happenings that caused the events on this EDR?
Yes.
And you indicate there's 2 events. What was the real world happening that caused the first event to be recorded?
The operator was involved in a previous traffic crash.
And do you know the nature of that?
I do.
And what was it?
It was a vehicle that was in motion in reverse that struck another vehicle.
Okay. And that's the first event that the EDR imaged?
Correct.
And it also imaged a second event?
Correct.
And do you know what the real world happening was that caused
The real
that
world
image
happening.
to be locked in on the EDR?
I do.
And what was that?
The motor vehicle striking a building.
And to the best of your knowledge and understanding, that building's the Swan Boat Club, right?
Correct.
So turning back to the report itself, do you have the section on throttle in front of you?
Uh-oh.
I do.
Or throttle percentage, I should say. Lieutenant, how does that, so it records back 5 seconds. Is that right?
Correct.
And then how does it give you that data?
So when the vehicle struck the building, of course, that crash was recorded. So the EDR itself can record 5 seconds prior to that event taking place. So that's the information that I've received on this document.
And then does it show you, at 5 seconds on down to the crash?
It does.
Okay. And then if you could tell the court for each, well, what increments of time does it record?
Half a second.
Okay. Could you review the exhibit and proffer for the court what the throttle percentage is for each of those time increments prior to the crash?
At -5 seconds, 0. -4.5 seconds, 59.3%. -4 seconds, 0. -3.5 seconds, 80.1%. 3 seconds, 82%. 2.5 seconds, 0. 2 seconds, 100%. negative 1.50, negative 1.0, 97.9%, negative 0.5, 97.0%, and 0, which is the point of impact, is 96.6%.
So at the time, so how do you interpret that as throttle percentage? What's the real world implication of that?
What's the RPM?
From my training, anything that's 70% or higher, 70 to 100, is actually 100%.
What do you mean by that?
Foot to the floor. Ah. So she didn't even take her foot off the accelerator when she hit.
Event data record braking.
It does.
Does
There
that
wasn't
report
any.
have a section on braking?
It does.
And what does it report? What real world event does it show within the image?
It recorded every half of a second from 5 seconds to the point of impact.
And what does it indicate about braking? Is it a percentage? Is it, what information does it relay?
Whether or not the brakes were engaged, it's either on or off.
Okay. At any point in the 5 seconds prior to this crash, does the report reflect the brakes were engaged?
Yes.
Oh.
And if you could, Lieutenant, going through the 5 seconds, again, give us the indication time-wise whether or not the brakes were engaged in this event.
Negative 0.5 seconds off. Negative 4.5 seconds off. Negative 4 seconds off. Negative 3.5 seconds off. Negative 3 seconds off. Negative 2.5 seconds off. Negative 2 on. Negative 1.5 seconds off. Negative 1.0 seconds off. Negative 0.5 seconds off. 0 point of impact off.
So she just tapped them.
Lieutenant, does this event data recorder also record speed?
It does.
Okay. First of all, I'll ask you this. You know that this, you're familiar with the scene of this crash.
I am.
And
I want to know what speed she was going backwards.
in a parking lot. You familiar with that?
I am.
Do you know what the statutory speed limit in a parking lot is?
5.
So looking at the video and the roadway itself, Branshaw Road actually runs between the parking lot and the building itself. So that's considered still the roadway where the vehicle was being operated on. What we have here is a private road. So with private roads, the HOA, homeowners association, or any other type of association have to have something within their deeds, an HOA agreement regarding speed.
Mm-hmm.
So at one time, I do recall seeing a 10-mile-per-hour sign, which is yellow. Now, yellow is a caution speed. Somebody, I assume, put up a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit that's black and white, which can be confusing with a
We have
state
5
code
kilometers.
speed limit, like 25 in a residential. So being that Branshaw is a private road, as it does say, a private road could be 25 miles per hour, that even private or not, an operator has to operate their vehicle carefully and prudent so they can maintain control of their vehicle. So where the vehicle curves to the right prior to impact, the vehicle was still on Branshaw Road, which would be 25 miles per hour.
Statutorily 25.
Yes.
So do you have the section on speed that's contained in the event data recorder report in front of you?
I do.
And if you could just go through one last time, Lieutenant, and indicate to us what the defendant's speed was 5 seconds prior to the impact and on down.
Negative 5 seconds, 29.5 miles per hour. Negative 4.5 seconds, 29.6 miles per hour. Negative 4 seconds, 30.3 miles per hour. Negative 3.5 seconds, 30.6 miles per hour. Negative 3 seconds, 30.7 miles per hour.
Oh.
Negative 2.5 seconds, 31.7 miles per hour. negative 2 seconds, 32.9 miles per
Ah.
hour, negative 1.5 seconds, 35.5 miles
Ah.
per hour, negative 1 second, 37.8 miles per hour, negative 0.
You didn't take your foot off the fucking gas.
40.9 miles
Oh.
per hour, 0 point of impact, 44.3 miles per hour.
I know.
Thank you.
Well, bye, lady. Imagine being in there. You'd just be like, hang on, what the fuck just happened? What? But well, the trial is set for 3 minutes time, and they don't have a thumbnail up yet. They did do a actually, maybe I should watch the end of the stream that we were watching before. They might have an update because they've taken it down now.
Experience as well. So if you guys, are knowing people that drink and drive all the time, hide their keys and whatever, and try to stop them, because this stuff is tragic and you can't reverse it. It's irrevocable damage. Is the trial live stream? No, Nora, you're just coming in. The judge decided not to allow the live stream, and they did a media pool with the larger networks, and they will be airing. They are not allowed to live broadcast, but will be airing their record. They are in the courtroom recording. Well, after they finish because they're actually doing jury selection as far as we know right now.
Fucking
But
hell.
as soon as the proceedings start, if the jury is selected today, then they will post their recordings and broadcast them later on in the day. Check Fox 2 News Detroit. Yes, Amelia, I do have Facebook.
Fox 2
Yep,
News.
follow me on Facebook as well. Check
2
Fox 2 News Detroit. That would be a great starting point. WDIV Channel 4. But I'm banking on Fox 2 News Detroit. They have a Watch Live tab. You can type in Marshella Chidester's name in the search box, and everything that they have on her will come up. But I'll post it on the community wall as well.
Fingers crossed.
Drake, Raymond, thank you. God bless, and hopefully as
that's
a
why they took that down. Okay. What else have I got in that playlist? I don't think they'll even though they do pick the jury, they're not going to stream it. They're going to stream it delayed. So, now. What else did I save in there? Oh, that's three trials today. First one, they didn't live stream. The second one was this one, they're on jury. Now they're not live streaming it. The third one was Bruce batshit. Examining the defense. Here we go. Let's watch that. Oh. Hang on 1 second. Okay. You're all very quiet. I thought there'd be a few outrageous comments watching that. Oh, fuck.
On April 20th, 2024, a Michigan woman, Marshella Chidester, age 66, left her home at approximately 2:57 p.m. Immediately after exiting her driveway, she backed into the front end of her neighbor's truck and sped away. Presumably fleeing the scene of this accident, she drove another 500 feet, heading in the direction of the Swan Boat Club, where she had been a member and commodore over 20 years. But, as she approached the parking lot at a high rate of speed without braking, her vehicle plowed into the pavilion side of the building, where a child's birthday party was being held. Her vehicle, a 2017 Ford Edge, plunged into the venue, hitting a wall 25 feet into the building, killing 2 small children and injuring 15 others. It is unclear if she intended to attend the party, as she gave conflicting accounts when questioned by law enforcement officers. She now faces 2 life sentences. Although many victims were devastated by this tragedy, one family that was so deeply impacted was that of Mariah Dodds and her young children. Not only was she critically injured, sustaining trauma that rendered her comatose for 3 to 4 days, according to testimony, but her eldest son, and only surviving child, aged 12, barely recovered. Worse still, her 2 youngest children, Alanah, 8, and Zayn, 4, perished on the scene. Alanah and Zayn died from multiple blunt force injuries, according to medical reports. After the crash, Zayn was pinned between the front driver's side tire and the wall where the vehicle stopped. Party attendees sprang into action to lift the car to take him out of the pavilion. He was laid on a grassy area outside, awaiting emergency medical services. During the probable cause hearing, Sergeant Michael Bomia testified to observing a small child lying on the grass with other victims needing medical care when he arrived. Sergeant Bomia stated that the child was unresponsive and did not appear to be breathing or moving. Alanah was eventually found on the front passenger side, near the tires pinned up against the wall or door frame of the pavilion, going into the walkway. JD, the eldest and only surviving child of the family, suffered a fractured skull and multiple broken bones, including his legs, ribs, and pelvis, among other injuries. As of this recording, he is still unable to walk. The mother, Mariah, was found in the breezeway and was pulled from underneath a door going into the pavilion that had come off the hinges, according to testimony. She was left in a coma with fractured ribs, a collapsed lung, a missing tooth, and other mouth injuries, a chin cut, torn lips that had to be sewn back together, a hematoma, a broken shoulder blade, and a concussion. Marshella Chidester was arrested on the scene and later charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of operating while intoxicated causing death, and 4 counts of operating while intoxicated causing injury. She was sued by the children's father. To date, the case was dissolved and consolidated with the civil suits of other injured victims. In addition to Mrs. Chidester, Vernus Tavern and the Swan Boat Club were named in lawsuit. To date, there are no scheduled hearings in the civil matter, according to court documents. The criminal case remains open in the 38th Circuit Court of Monroe County, Michigan, where she was bound over to stand trial by a district court judge. She has been arraigned and is scheduled for a pretrial hearing in August. Defending Marshella Chidester is a Michigan local attorney, Bill Kolovos of the Kolovos Law Firm in Garden City. He, reportedly, has 39 years legal experience and specializes in OUI and DUI cases. Mr. Kolovos is a criminal attorney. He also practices in the areas of personal injury, property damage, family, and probate law. He is also a participating member in the criminal law section of the Michigan Bar Association and the National Association of Criminal Defense Attorneys. Kolovos ran for public office in 2020 for a seat in the Michigan House of Representatives. Marshella Chidester was taken into custody at the crash site on 04/20/2024 and arraigned in district court on 04/23/2024 in Monroe County. She posted a $1.5 million non-monetary surety bond and was released according to court records. A probable cause hearing was held on 06/27/24, where she was bound over to circuit court to stand trial. She was arraigned on 07/12/2024, and a pre-trial hearing was scheduled on 08/23/2024, pursuant to the request of the defense due to voluminous discovery and for time to review and retain experts. Marshella Chidester remains free as her bond was continued with conditions including home confinement monitored by GPS tether. She must abstain from alcohol and other illicit drugs and submit to regular substance testing and monitoring. She must also notify the court of any change in address, phone, or other contact information and surrender her passport. Mrs. Chidester is prohibited from driving, leaving the state, and the purchase or possession of guns or other dangerous weapons. The state's case is compelling with corroborating evidence consisting of the deceased children, injured victims, and eyewitnesses. They also have video capturing the collision from...
I'm just going to screenshot that. Now, what did I save it as? There we go.
Multiple angles before and after the incident. Data from the vehicle tracking system called an EDR, or Event Data Recorder, which shows a previous collision moments prior to crashing into the pavilion. It also showed her vehicle traveling at 44.3 miles per hour with the brakes off and a throttle percentage of 96.6% at the point of impact. The data further revealed progressive acceleration with the gas pedal to the floor, according to investigator testimony. Finally, the blood alcohol level tested at 0.118, twice the legal limit. The legal term for this condition in Michigan is super drunk, which carries stiffer penalties if convicted. Deputies also testified to physical signs of intoxication, including bloodshot, watery eyes, loss of balance and concentration, and the smell of intoxicants. Mrs. Chidester also tested positive for the prescription drug, gabapentin. It is important to note the additive effects of mixing alcohol and gabapentin. Although non-narcotic, both substances elicit a sedating effect that causes extreme drowsiness, lethargy, loss of coordination, and confusion. The mixture also presents a high risk for respiratory depression, overdose, and death. Mrs. Chidester confessed to being the driver and consuming alcohol on the scene. The case for the defense has far more holes to fill and obstacles to overcome. But here we can speculate on some potential strategies that may be used by the defense. Namely, standing mute at the most recent circuit court arraignment. Standing mute is a defensive posture similar to pleading the fifth. It is also a stall tactic for a defendant to buy time until there is a better sense of whether potential jurors from the community may be more inclined to convict.
Is this a different one to the one I just... Good news. Yes, this is defense. Sweet. Screenshot. Oh. I have to capture it first, Jody. You dipshit. Save.
Or be persuaded otherwise. In a criminal case with a high probability of conviction, it is prudent for a defendant to remain silent rather than plead guilty or innocent without it being held against them during trial. Secondly, Attorney Kolovos gives us a hint of one of those strategies at the district court arraignment, arguing that his client's medical conditions caused the accident. Therefore, she should not be held criminally responsible to the degree of murder and offered suggestions for a reduced charge, especially since there was no intent. He urged the court to consider the epileptic-type seizures in her legs that caused them to freeze, preventing her from hitting the brakes before crashing into the building. He later notified the court of her neuropathy condition during a subsequent hearing. Medical evidence shows certain types of neuropathy do cause seizures. However, Michigan law does require epileptic patients to certify their medical status through a physician proving that the condition is under control through treatment, and symptoms that could be unsafe while operating have been under control at least 6 months to be eligible for a driver's license. Based on these arguments, we assume that medical professionals will be called to substantiate his theories, especially personal doctors, if possible. We also speculate that auto collision experts will be called to provide alternative interpretations of the accident to challenge EDR data. As it relates to the blood alcohol level, Kolovos has already called into question the validity of the results, suggesting some form of sample contamination to no avail at the district court level. He concluded that the results were a false positive, which is a processing error evidenced by the clear and lucid communication Mrs. Chidester exhibited during her initial contact with police. He denied any physical signs of intoxication and claims the defendant was served a single glass of wine and a bowl of chili at a local tavern 4 hours before the incident. Most wines have a 12% alcohol concentration, and with the additive effects of gabapentin, depending on the dose or potential abuse, could lead to severe intoxication. Lastly, the defense denied a prior history of drunk driving or other traffic violations despite driving for 50 years. Although this will likely fail to shield her from prosecution in a double homicide case, it may very well weigh heavily on the judge's decision during sentencing. Character witnesses will likely be called to testify on her behalf. Finally, a local news article with Attorney Kolovos should be noted, where he states the intent to file a motion for change of venue, believing it is impossible for Mrs. Chidester to get a fair trial in her community. As well, he plans to have the blood evidence thrown out based on a purported testing error. According to the report, Attorney Kolovos states that there is no plea deal on the table, and he does not anticipate there being one.
Today showed us that individuals can be held accountable irrespective of power and privilege.
After years.
All right. Well, I was watching this on the weekend. Ghislaine Maxwell. I might actually do like a presentation on like a case on her. And yeah, and her journey to Epstein and then beyond. Wow. All right. Well, I will keep my eyes peeled, but obviously they've decided that the media pool is going to do delayed broadcasting. So I doubt very much, even if they do reach, I said a jury today, that the footage will be released before tomorrow anyway. So, and it's 5:15 in the morning. Yeah, not going to happen. Sorry. Well, this is a lot more than what I actually swipe left on this trial. But it's a lot more involved than I thought. All right, my lovelies. Thank you very much for being here, for joining me again. You've all been very, very quiet. I even had to check my chat settings just to make sure that you can still write something. Okay, well, stay tuned. We've got a lot on tomorrow. We're going to do the Tandem True Crime Gangland Wars, but I think I will just be a guest on Tanya's channel for that. I'm having some issues with the tube of the U. So, and then I plan on covering the Karen Reid motions hearing. And then this one. So, welcome, Victoria Smith. Welcome, new subscriber. Or should I say, suffer? There is no escape now. Oakley dokley. Like I always say, don't be good. Be good at it. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hey there, thanks for stopping in. We hope you will join us again. We all look forward to next time. We get to talk about true crime. Clues. Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule and the defense rests. Our true crime family is great. All types of topics we debate. Smash that like and ring that bell. Hit subscribe, you might as well.